Want to know how to make a man think about you in the middle of the day, smile when he sees your message, and even start a conversation on his own? The secret is in the right words. Today, I'm going to reveal 8 text messages that men simply can't ignore. And the best part? They work at any stage of a relationship. Watch until the end and discover how to turn any conversation into an irresistible connection. First message: "Hey, I dreamed about you last night." Have you ever received a message like this? If so, I bet you got super curious, right? Well, men do too. This phrase instantly sparks their imagination. Right away, he starts wondering, what did she dream about? And even if he tries to play it cool, deep down, he's dying to know. Now, the secret is not to reveal everything right away. You can tease him a little, saying something like, "It was a funny scene," or maybe romantic. Should I tell you? This mystery makes him want to keep the conversation going. And the more he tries to figure it out, the more invested he becomes. It's almost like a game. And who doesn't love a challenge? Want to make it even more interesting? Connect the dream to something real between you two. If you've already gone out together, mention something familiar. If not, make up a fun scenario. "We were traveling together, can you believe it? But the funniest part was what happened at the end." Boom! Now he's hooked on the story and will want to know every detail. Now tell me, have you ever used this trick? If not, save this idea and try it out. But if you want something that goes beyond just curiosity and creates an instant connection, hold on, because the next message is even more powerful. Second message: "If we had to run away somewhere today, where would we go?" This question changes the game right away. Instead of the typical, "Hey, how are you?" you make him imagine a scene with you. He has to think fast, get into the mood, and before he even realizes it, he's already picturing the two of you together in a special place. It's a natural and fun way to create a connection, and his answer can reveal a lot about his personality. If he picks a deserted beach, he might be the laid-back type. If he mentions a busy city, he's probably someone who loves adventure. No matter the answer, it opens up space for a light, engaging conversation. Want to make it even more intriguing? Play along with his choice. If he says Paris, for example, you can reply, "Great choice, but how would you convince me to take that flight with you?" This pulls him into the game and makes him even more engaged in the conversation. Now tell me, if you could run away anywhere with someone special, where would you go? Comment below. And speaking of special moments, the next message has an amazing effect on a man's heart. Third message: "I just heard a song and thought of you." Music has a magical way of stirring emotions, right? When you send this message, he'll immediately think, what does this song have to do with me? And even if he doesn't show it, trust me, he'll rush to listen and try to figure out the connection. In the end, you've already planted your name in his thoughts. To make this even more special, choose a song with a meaningful touch. It could be a captivating melody, romantic lyrics, or even a rhythm that matches his personality. And if you want to keep the conversation playful, add a little charm. "I think this would be our theme song." Or, "Am I just imagining things?" This makes him want to go along with the vibe. If he asks which song it is, perfect. You've got the ideal hook to keep the conversation going. And if he sends a song back, even better. This creates a subtle, emotional connection, a memory linked to you. Next time he hears that song, guess who's going to pop into his mind? Now, what if instead of just making him think of you, you made him work to figure out what's on your mind? The next message turns this into an irresistible game. Fourth message: "If you can guess what I'm thinking right now, I'll give you a prize." Men love a challenge. When you send this message, it immediately triggers his competitive side. He'll want to get it right at all costs, and the best part? Every guess keeps the conversation light, fun, and full of energy. Before he knows it, he's completely engaged. The trick here is to play with his responses. If he gets it wrong, you can tease him. "Wow, not even close. And here I thought you knew me well. Want another chance?" This kind of playful teasing creates a fun atmosphere and makes him try even harder to figure it out. The more time he spends guessing, the more hooked he becomes. And the prize? It can be anything: a sweet compliment, a secret revealed, or even an invitation for coffee. What matters isn't what he wins, but the fact that he has to earn it. This keeps him interacting and, without realizing it, connecting even more with you. Now, what if instead of a challenge, you sent a message that made him feel special? The next idea does exactly that and boosts his ego in an irresistible way. 5th message. I saw something today that really reminded me of you. Few things make a man feel more special than knowing he crossed your mind in the middle of the day. This message instantly sparks his curiosity. He'll want to know, what was it that reminded you of me, and why? Just that little mystery already makes him think about you more than he expected. The key here is to choose something meaningful. It could be a funny meme that matches his personality, a coffee that reminded you of the place where you met, or even a scent similar to his. If you want to make the conversation even more engaging, say something like, "It felt so real, like you were actually there." This creates a sense of closeness, even from a distance. And the best part? This kind of message can turn into a subtle habit. The more you do it, the more likely he is to start thinking about you in his daily life too. Over time, he might even start sending messages out of the blue saying, "Guess what reminded me of you today?" And just like that, the connection is built. But what if, instead of bringing up a memory, you gave him the chance to ask you anything he wanted? The next message does just that, and it might reveal more than you expect. 6th message. If you could ask me anything right now, what would it be? This message puts the conversation in his hands. And trust me, it can tell you a lot about what's on his mind. He might ask something silly and playful, or take the opportunity to learn something deeper about you. Either way, the conversation becomes spontaneous and full of possibilities. Want to make it even more interesting? Add a little mystery. If he asks something too simple, tease him a bit. "Really? That's it? I thought you were more creative." This challenges him to think harder and keeps the conversation fun and engaging. Beyond being a playful exchange, this strategy also helps you gauge his level of interest. If he asks more personal questions, it could be a sign that he genuinely wants to get to know you. Depending on how the conversation flows, you can steer it towards something lighthearted and fun, or something with a hint of charm. Now what? If instead of letting him choose the question, you went straight to the point and showed him that you already know him better than he realizes? The next message does just that, and might catch him off guard. 7th message. I saw something today and thought, this is so him. Men love knowing they have something distinctive about them, something that makes them stand out. And this message does exactly that. When you say you saw something and immediately thought of him, it shows that you've noticed details about his personality or interests. This creates a special connection, as if there's already a little story between you two. The trick is to pick something specific. It could be a dish he loves, a book by his favorite author, a jacket that matches his style, or even a funny habit he has. If you want to keep the conversation lighthearted, send a picture and say, "Look at this. Your name might as well be written on it." He'll feel special. And on top of that, he might even laugh at the coincidence. The coolest part about this strategy is that it creates a mirror effect. The next time he sees something that reminds him of you, he might be the one sending a message, saying, "This is so you." Over time, these little exchanges build a natural bond, making you a presence in his thoughts without him even realizing it. But what if, instead of just making him feel special, you triggered his natural instinct to want to help you? The next message does just that, and it might make him even more invested in you. 8th message. I need a guy's opinion on something. Men love feeling useful. When you ask for his opinion, it activates his natural instinct to help and show off his knowledge. One thing's for sure, he'll pay attention to your message because he feels like he has an important role in the conversation, and that makes him engage in a more genuine way. The key is to pick a topic that makes him want to respond. It can be something simple, like, which outfit is better for a date? Or something more strategic, like, why do men disappear out of nowhere? Not only does this keep the conversation flowing, but you also get a glimpse into how he thinks, and if he gives a quick response, you have the perfect chance to keep the conversation going. Just follow up with, "Really? I never thought about it that way. Tell me more." This encourages him to explain further, and the more he talks, the more invested he becomes in the conversation. In the end, he won't even realize he's putting time and energy into you, and that's how a real connection is built. Now that you know these 8 irresistible messages, it's time to try them out. Pick one and see how he reacts. And if you want more tips on how to turn casual conversations into real connections, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Oh, and there's a video playing on the screen right now that you don't want to miss. Click it and enjoy.